So hi guys, this is Parth and today I'm going to show you how you can actually use text-to-speech API on the Google Cloud platform. So guys, let's get straight in the video. Alright, so first of all, head up to the Google Cloud console and now you can actually search for an API which is text-to-speech API. And now you need to enable the API. So going to the text-to-speech API, instead of this manage button, you might see the enable API button which you need to press for enabling this API. So once this API has been enabled, we can actually start coding. And before we start to code, we actually need the key which we will use to access the Google Cloud Platform services. To get those keys, we can actually go to I am an admin. Now we can head up to the service account section, which is actually placed right here. Now, after in the service account section, we can actually create new service account, or if you have previous service accounts, you can choose one of the service accounts. Now if I go inside the service account, I can go to the key section, and now I can actually create a key which can be used to access APIs through my code. Now if I create new key, now I can create the key in a JSON format, and now it will prompt me to download the key. So you can download that in the respective folder you want, and now we can start working on actual code. All right. So the first part is obviously installing the libraries required to access the Google Cloud's text-to-speech service. So we will first need to run the command pip install Google Cloud text-to-speech. All right, so it will install the particular libraries required for Google Cloud Platform. All right, so for the next step, you can import text-to-speech from google.cloud. Now we begin again. All right, so now we can actually create the Google Cloud client here right now, which is client equals to text-to-speech client. This client will be used to access the functions in the text-to-speech API. All right, so now we can actually define some kind of input text we want to convert it. We want to convert to supposedly anything. We need to enter that text inside the text to speech dot synthesis input type. Supposedly it is hello, welcome to Google Cloud. Right, I can use any kind of input text. This part is basically your major utility. Like if you want to use it for a chatbot, you can dynamically update the input text and then pass it through the API. All right. So now we can actually choose some voice configurations. We can use the voice selection params function of text-to-speech API to actually select what kind of voice we need for our speech. I can choose, first of all, I can choose the language code, which is a two alphabet code represented the language and the type of language you're using. For example, if I use language code, which is English US, so I can use this for my speech client. Now, I can actually use the gender as well, SML gender. I can choose it to be neutral. All right. You can put as many customizations you want. There are multiple customizations for this or selection parameters. You can uh, look out for documentation as well. All right. So now we can actually configure the audio for the text-to-speech client, which can be configured by audio config function of the text-to-speech API. All right, we can put some parameters in this like audio encoding, which is used to encode the audio to the type of encoding. Supposedly, if I want to encode it to the MP3 format, I can use text-to-speech.audio encoding.mp3, which will encode it to the MP3 format. All right. So now we can actually uh, hit the API call to the client, to the text to speech client, we can store that as a response, which is equals to client dot synthesize speech, was the main function required for hitting the API call to text to speech API. All right, so I can use a synthesize speech button, synthesize speech function, and I can pass the parameter as input, which is equals to input text, voice equals to voice, and audio config equals to audio configuration, which I've set up before. All right, so we actually have the audio in the response, and to now write this audio to my system, I need to actually read the response with using the with open function. Now I can store that as out, and then I can write it as out dot write response dot audio content, and now we can just print audio content into the file output dot mp3. That's how you can actually create the text, which was hello, welcome to Google Cloud, to a speech which we have configured here. Now, before we can run the particular code, we now need to actually pass the Google Cloud key, which I have saved here as GCP key.json, which is the key file for the my Google Cloud platform. So I can actually use it. I have two ways to use it. Either I can save the key path as an environment variable, or the other thing I can do is I can use uh, from service account file function of the client, which can be used which can be used by putting a full stop, then from service account file here, and now I can pass the path of the service file, which is the key of the your particular Google Cloud platform. So I can just enter the path here, which is gcp.json for me because it is currently in my in this directory only. So this will be termed as GCP key. All right, so now I can run the file as Python text to speech.py. All right, so just a little change here. I had accidentally written SSML generation here, which should be replaced by SSML gender, which I have replaced here right now. Now I think our code should work properly. So if I run the text-to-speech.py file, then my audio contents have been written to the output.mp3 file, which is shown here. And yeah, it exactly states what is written in the text, which is hello, welcome to the Google Cloud. So yeah, that's how you actually use the text-to-speech API from Google Cloud. And yeah, that's it for the video. Thank you guys for watching.